That was dumb. I couldn't have finished it in like 1 minute that I had left. Steven Wilson and Tim Bonus have a fucking podcast where they talk for hours about albums and they cannot shut up. And they have been at it. You can see that they have been at it for like 30 years. They have been talking about this all over again, over and over and over again. About how this thing is influenced by that thing, and also it's similar to that thing, and like genre, like maybe it's this genre, but let's talk about that guy who were like someone who worked with them and how that affected everyone. Oh. A very autism friendly thing. Not the comments, but just them fucking going on and on and on and on about it, and just it's so good. Just I will have to actually. So I got into the podcast because they are my special interest now, these two guys, and I've listened to the discographies, and I've read some articles, and I listened to some interviews. So what do I do now? Let's watch the podcast. So first I got into it as a way to like listen to these two nerds, so because these two nerds are my special interest, but then they're talking about music. And they're talking about music that I'm actually not as familiar with, because it's mostly like British music. And I'm like, oh, I should write it down, but then I don't. But then I remember that he said something about, so I will have to rewatch the episodes to actually like listen to the music. But I listened to some things they discussed, and nice music. Very interesting. A lot of interesting things. Some of which I even like got a little bit obsessed with for like a small period of time, a short period of time. But just the format of that. The format of that podcast is just so good. I realized recently, like about maybe 3 weeks ago or something, when I was listening to an episode of the podcast, that fuck, I envy them. I want to talk to someone like that, because I have those fucking ideas and opinions of how this thing reminds me of that thing, and how that can be influenced, and how that is a reference to the other thing, or if it's not a reference, still it works. But no one shares my passion for it, and like they're talking about it. It's not one guy ranting at something. It's like they're actually communicating, and they have been doing for a long time. So I'm like, shit, I want to do it. It really pleases my brain. The way they kind of connect. Brian Ena. They even have like, yeah, that's a joke here. They have figures in British music mostly that they always come back to, and it's like a running joke there. That Brian Ena, just nice, like very kind of familiar to my mind, to my brain. Cannot recommend enough. And just, I love their music. I love their music. I'm gonna go listen to some after I'm done with this. And I'm done with this. We had to have a little nugget here. And I cannot add anything. What else can I add about music? I like bass. Bass is the soul of every composition that has bass in it. Or like anything that plays the role of the bass. That the underlying structure, the support of the song. I love bass. Yeah, let's just stim for about 10 minutes. Why not? Have I run out of special interests? Tea, yeah, no one can see it. Should I move you? Should I reveal more of my kitchen? Tea. Tea. Tea is my special interest. I'm too energetic now to... Oh, okay. The time has come for me to reveal the secret page. So, I fucking hate scrolling. I fucking hate this thing. So I mostly don't scroll. It's like, why would I fucking do what I hate? But sometimes I do, and YouTube is like, oh, so much stuff that I can click on and watch between the lessons, like while shoving some food in my mouth. But it affects my mental health, and it affects my emotional state. So it's been a battle for me to limit that. And I came up with two things. The first one is, I think it's blurry, but this is my Swedish thingies. So I decided to again, like, grope some Swedish. So when I have like 20-30 minutes between the lessons, instead of clicking on random, not so random, but still on shit on YouTube, I study some Swedish. Or, since I said that school was kind of a special interest for me when I went to school, I decided to do school subjects, and the first one is maths, because I love maths. I don't remember anything. I started from the very beginning, like what is it? I'm forgetting English words. Doing plus and minus with numbers, subtracting and summing up, and then multiplying and dividing. So I have like pages of maths, secret pages of maths with like some autistic things between the maths that I wrote down here too. Pages and some shirts that I'm sewing. But this is my secret page with the formulas of like how to open brackets and equations, and some numbers that I'm crunching. Does wonders for my mind. And once I'm done with maths, I'm gonna move on to some other subjects. Like bring on geometry. I want geometry back in my life. I want physics. Maybe even fucking chemistry. I want all of that back. I'm an adult. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can solve equations. So I'm hoping to have this as my special interest, or at least as an interest, because it is interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna go listen to some of Steven Wilson, Tim Bonus creations, and get obsessed with the new, with not so new, but with one more song or something.